was a really nice way to start, Lisa. Thank you so much. My whole spine is just like, oh. And I'm really grateful, of course, for this space and for you that you're inviting us again and again and again. I'm just getting more and more activated in the space here every time I come. There was an event here last night, a variety show. Some of you were here. And I was slated to perform at that show, to do stand-up comedy. Yeah, and I will be doing it. It's 14 minutes, memorized 14 minutes, and getting up in front of anyone with a mic is very new to me. And yesterday was September 3rd, which was 24 years since my husband died, on September 3rd. And initially, when I got the invitation 2 weeks ago, I'm like, this is going to be great to reimagine this date with a whole nother flavor of comedy. And I was really saturated myself in it. And then the fire came. And then the smoke came. And then my new best friend, this 82-year-old Om I don't know if you know this magical creature. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I have the pleasure of knowing her, and we were going to escape town together. When the smoke was really bad yesterday morning, and this is getting really weird. This reality is getting really weird. So we made the decision. I pulled out of the show, loaded up the car, got my 82-year-old Munchkin German friend, put her in the car, and we get on the 5 and the sky is clear. I'm like, we're really going to drive to Morro Bay, with all this stuff? And I'm like, I really want to go to the show. So I've been feeling pretty anxious, waiting for Omanasa to arrive at my house. A lot of anxiety was coming up through me, and I was like, well, this isn't unusual because of the smoke, the fire evacuation, no power, la 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 la. But I'm really pretty good at self-regulation, and I rarely put my shit onto other people. And I was texting her, what's your ETA? Where are you? I'm going to come and get you. Like, why aren't you here yet? I'm ready to go. La, 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 la. And because she's wise, she's like, my dear, if you need to go, you take care of yourself. It's more important you take care of yourself. I was like, fuck, she's giving me nothing but permission. And I was like, okay, I'm going to get off the phone, and I'm going to lay down, and I'm going to meditate. And so I'm feeling myself for the first time in 48 hours, and I'm feeling this energy, and all of a sudden it just erupts, and I just start sobbing and sobbing and sobbing, and I'm like, that's it, that's it, that's what needed to happen. And my grief had looked like anxiety, and anxiousness, and grief looks like so many, disguised in so many different ways. And with the wisdom of my friend and her invitation to take care of myself, and my wisdom to lay down and feel myself, I had this incredible, helpful release. And then I came to the show and got super saturated in all the goodness. And then at 5 o'clock this morning, Spirit got me up and was like, here you go. And now I know better, and I always have a paper and pen by the bed. So this is what came through this morning, and this is what I want to share for you. And all of what I share is meant to serve your heart, and I hope that comes through more than anything else. I'm trying to honor and be a good steward for what's coming through my channel, to be as clear as it can be to serve your hearts. Grief is its own special tone. I used to think it was gross. I used to push against feeling it or being with it in another. My husband died when I was 27, and his death cracked me open. I became fascinated with death and dying, loss, the afterlife, astral travel. I took Benadryl for 3 years to help me sleep, and because it seemed when I was dreaming, my beloved could somehow communicate through the veils. I slept a lot, turned my life all the way down in order to connect with my dead lover. I was shattered, without guidance, raw, confused, and going through an initiation that I wasn't prepared for or even aware of. Grief repulsed me, so I focused on death, became a death specialist, making hospice my passion, getting expert and walking people in every sense, and walking people over in every sense, physically, emotionally, spiritually, for hundreds and hundreds. I relished it, felt very well used, created death and dying dinner parties, hosting monthly for 7.5 years, serving the topic of death. And though grief was always present and obvious, I rarely humbled myself to it. It was so thick, pervasive, engulfing. It had swallowed me whole and taken me into the cold, dark, deep sea. I was in the belly of the beast, unaware of this sacred rite of passage. Grief is patient. She isn't altered by the sands of time. She is moved by the spirit, and she can either suffocate you slowly like a massive python or dance alongside you with perfect, stunning beauty. She is meant to guide you to the next iteration, yet we fight her so fiercely. The feelings seem like too much. They are simply far too much for this human thing to bear. So instead of honoring her, we fight, we negotiate, we wiggle, we writhe. More practically, we drink, we numb, we distract, we chat incessantly. We remarry, we have babies, or we abort. We fuck, we travel, we get tied up in spiritual traps while she waits and watches. Sometimes we approach and crack the door. Stuff seeps through. I'm doing the work. Not enough, my love, not enough. What she demands is beyond comprehension, a total surrender that we have not seen, much less been trained for. She wants to engulf all of you, to run you through, burn you, bake you, remake you, mold you, hold you, and shake out of you the untrue. She is one of the strongest forces, and we despise her for it. We hide and rage and blame. It matters not to her, this second sister to love. If you open to love, you must open to grief. Know that up front. It just might relax the mind enough to move toward the impending annihilation of all that you were, to make way for all you are becoming. Will you steward yourself to the next level with more compassion and curiosity, more than you could imagine, more than you have ever extended? She will wait. She will wait for you your entire life, if need be. Grief is not what we think it is. She is not here to mark our losses. She is here to break us free.